Dear students, we'll get started with the next topic of discussion. We'll talk about sections of solids, which is our unit 4. We have seen in the projection of solids that the hidden lines or edges were shown by dashed line. We have drawn several solids with it be prisms or pyramids, cylinders or cones. In that we have been showing the hidden details by dashed lines, which is like shown by a dashed line like this. However, if there are many dashed lines in a projection, it would be difficult to interpret the shape of the object, particularly if it's machine components or any other components in engineering drawing. If you have to manufacture a certain component, whether it be a transformer or a generator or an IC engine or any of the components to be made, if you're showing a lot of dotted lines, it will be difficult for the production engineer to make that part. So that's the reason why we have to go for a sectional view of the particular solid or the component or machine, whatever that is. Therefore, sectional views of objects or machine components is necessary for an engineer to communicate his or her ideas in pictorial form. We just draw a pictorial diagram and then show the section of how it looks like. This is basically the idea of sections of solids. I'll just give you some examples wherein and mechanical engineers like these guys, they use IC engines. In IC engines or several other components, there are boilers and several other components are there wherein the application of the sections would be useful to communicate the ideas. Basically, like how does the internal component look like is what we want to communicate by the usage of sections of solids. Similarly, if you're an electrical engineer, like DC motors, generators, transformers, and any other components which are basically manufactured and given out to the production engineer, whoever is making that particular component or part, for them, like for easy understanding, we'll have to give some sectional drawings so that they'll know what's happening inside, what has to be assembled inside and what has to be manufactured. So those details would be given out for the respective engineer, whether it's like a CSC or an IT or an electronics guy. Like there are computer parts, electronic components, and some other several other components would be there. Those would be basically manufactured. They have to be manufactured anyway, so those things could be used in the sections of solids. We'll just move on. So talking about the types of section planes, we do have several types of section planes, which is precisely like a section plane is basically, let us discuss about what is a section plane. Section plane is an imaginary plane. First of all, an imaginary plane, it is assumed that you are cutting at a certain point and then you get a certain view of that particular component, like how many edges are there, how many sides are there, and what are the hidden details inside that particular component is what we want to know. So the first case would be the plane perpendicular to one of the reference planes, either HP or VP, and perpendicular or parallel or inclined to the other reference plane. We'll just go case by case, each stepwise, so that you guys can understand it better. So next case would be the plane parallel to one reference plane and perpendicular to the other. Obviously, it is perpendicular. If it is parallel to one plane, it is perpendicular to the other. And the third case would be perpendicular to both the HP and VP. These are some of the cases wherein you are basically cutting the component or the part. Okay, in this case, I'll just give you an example of a cone and then we'll just take it forward from there. So this is a symbolic representation. If it's asked in a question in exam, what is a symbolic representation of a section plane? You can say, these are of course the types. One is a parallel cutting plane, one is an inclined cutting plane, one is a perpendicular cutting. These are the three types which I mentioned here. This is the symbolic representation. This is represented by a thick line. Basically, it's a long dash and a dot line, but there is a thick line at the ends, and then in the center it's a thin line, and at the ends again it's a thick line. So this is like parallel, inclined, and perpendicular cutting planes. This auxiliary inclined plane is something which is like inclined to the HP and perpendicular to the VP. Okay, so the sectional plane, or that means this line is seen in the front view, that is above the XY line. right? This is for the auxiliary inclined plane. If it's an auxiliary vertical plane, this is basically perpendicular to the HP and inclined to the VP. Inclined to the VP and perpendicular to the HP. So we see the top, in the top view we see the section. So this is what it is. Alright, this is basically the types of sections. We'll just move on. Just give you a brief description of, before we hit the problems, we'll just talk about like what is a section, like just so that you understand. You all understand what, and you all might have eaten an ice cream cone, right? If it's an ice cream cone, and if you just invert the ice cream cone, this is a cone. I'm just drawing a cone here. This is my cone. This is the hidden line which I was talking about. There is an axis line here. So this is my, till here it's my axis line. So let us say this part is cut, like I'm just showing this section plane. Okay, let me take the simple example over here. It's a long dash and dot line, thin in the middle, and at the ends it is thick. Okay, this is how it was cut. So this means this section, this is a section plane. What is this section plane? This section plane is basically parallel to HP and perpendicular to VP. So that's why I see in the front view I see the section plane. This is also called the trace of the plane. It's also called the trace of the plane. It's basically a line. Alright. So this is your apex point, and then this is what it is. You are seeing from here, the observer is here in the top. Alright. The observer in the top, and then this is the object. Now you are seeing from here. So if it is cut like this, what do I see? From here till here, like if I have the generator lines, if I draw the generator lines, I'll have a point something like this. Okay, this is what I see. And this would be seen as this I'm showing with the dashed line. This is what I'm showing it as a section. This is the sectioned part. Sectioned part means the cut part. Whatever the part was cut, that is the cut part. Okay, the remaining part of the solid, like if I have to say this whole thing, the remaining part of the solid, this could be called as a frustum of, again, the bottom part. The top part is removed from this is the observer, this is the section plane, and this is the object. The object between the observer and the section plane is removed. This is removed. So remaining part is this one. So this is called frustum of a cone. If it's any other solid, it would be frustum of that any other solid. Alright. This is the first case. So this is the section plane. This is called the true shape. Apparently, like you see that this is the true shape. You see the view is perpendicular to the plane of projection. So this is basically perpendicular. So this shape, whatever is seen, this is a circle. This is a circle in this case. Alright, we'll do a next case here. Right here, we'll just draw the same cone again. Ice cream cone. Assume that you're eating an ice cream cone. Instead, like you just turned it upside down. Then you have a cone here. Then you have your axis here. This is your axis. Okay. Now let us say that your section plane is basically like starting from here, passing through. So it is cutting somewhere here. This is your axis, and this is where it is cutting, and it is inclined at an angle something like theta. It is inclined. This is called an auxiliary inclined plane. It is inclined, making an angle theta. To the HP, it is making an angle. And in the front view, you see the section. This is what you see. This is called the front view of the section. That is basically a line. Okay, it's also called a trace, or this is the sectional view. This is the section line. I can call it as a section line, or the trace of the sectional plane. Trace of the sectional plane, or the section. All right. Now, so this is like one end of the point, this is another end of the point. Like I'll have generators, like if I draw generators, I'll have generators here. There will be hidden generators right here. So if I join all these points together, I'll get something like this. As you already know, we have gone through this part in your intermediate. So you have done the parabola, hyperbola, and all the conic sections, wherein like you cut the cone at various points and then you get different sections. Alright, the first one was circle when it is parallel to the HP. Right, and this is inclined at an angle theta. Like this is what I get for a section. Like when the section plane is cutting the cone at this point, this is what I get. These are called the hatching lines. Right, this is called the section. Okay, this is called a section. Like in this case, this is the section, right? Is an ellipse here. Here it's an ellipse, all right. Here the section is basically a circle. Here it's a circle. Here it's an ellipse. All right. So depending on the angle how you cut the solid at various points, like your view would change. All right. Here you are able to see an ellipse over here. Okay, if you draw the same of the front view, like what do I see for this one? If you draw the same for the front view, basically you will see here. If I draw the top, sorry, this is the top. I'm sorry, I was talking about the top view. So this is the top view. This base of the circle is seen, and this particular thing, if it comes down, this is the section. Okay, this section I'll see it as a smaller circle. This is the smaller circle. This is what I see. This bigger circle and smaller circle, concentric circles. These both are. In this case, if I draw the projection line like this, I'll say a bigger circle. Obviously, that's the base. Okay, it's kind of messed up. Okay, this is a bigger circle. And in the top view, like if I drop this down over here, this one over here, so I'll see basically something like this, just something like this. All right, it's not quite a circle. Okay, it's like a skewed circle. So this is what it is. This is the point. So it's a little different. I mean, it might not be a circle, it could be some shape. Whatever the shape is, like you will follow based on the generator lines. You will have to draw the generator lines here. Same thing here, you will draw the generator lines. Generator lines are the imaginary lines. Okay, you're just assuming that there is a line, because if it's a pyramid or a prism, like you do have some edges, but here in a circle, in a cone, in a cylinder, you don't have any generators. You have to create your own generators, and based on that you'll get it. Fine. Now this is your sectional plane. This is your section plane. This is your section. This is along with the bottom part, the remaining part of the solid and the section. This is called the sectional view. Sectional view could be a top view or a front view. In this case, it's a top view, sectional top view. This is also a sectional top view. Sectional top view, and this is called the front view. This is the front view. I see the front view. Well, this is a three-dimensional diagram which I have drawn, but in a 2D diagram it will be a different setup altogether. Let me just draw the 2D diagram for this one. So if it's a 2D diagram, this is your front view cone. This is your XY line, and if you draw the projection down, this is your circle. This is your apex point. Okay, assume that this was cut like this. This is a section part. Just if you bring this down, this is your circle over here. So this is your circle and this is your section. This is the front view and this is the sectional top. This is the sectional top view. This is the front view. You are seeing the section line. Okay, that is called the section line, or a thick at the ends and thin at the middle. This is what it is. All right. Now, if you want to get a true shape, how do I get a true shape? So from here, like to this section plane, I have to draw a line perpendicular to this one. These are the projection lines. Okay, I do have some one point here. All the 8 points, whatever I have to get the points over here. Project that, and then whatever. Like if I draw an x1, an auxiliary plane, this is an x1 y1 line. You have an xy line here. This is an x1 y1 line which is drawn parallel to the section plane, at a considerable distance. Okay, without interfering with the solid. This x1 y1 should not interfere with the solid or any of the dimension lines, and it should be parallel to the section plane to get a true shape. Alright, now get all the projection lines down, and from xy, from here till this point, whatever distance it is, measure that distance, measure this distance, and then mark from here till here. Okay, and then basically you'll get a shape like this. So this is basically the true shape. Okay, these are called the hatching lines, which are drawn at an angle 45 degree to the x1 y1 line. Okay, these are called the hatching lines. All right, you have to draw it very thinly. This is called the true shape, by the way. True shape. Okay, this is the true shape. That means if you're seeing perpendicular to the section plane, seeing from here, this is your view. View is perpendicular to the section plane. Whatever I see from here, that is your true shape. Alright, so this is about your sections introduction. Okay, the terms which you guys might want to look at are: what is a section plane, what is a section, what is a sectional top view, what is a sectional front view. Alright, these are some of the things which you might want to know about. And also auxiliary inclined plane, like I told you in the previous sheet, I told about auxiliary inclined plane, auxiliary vertical plane. These are the two things. Okay, here, like these are the two things which you might want to go through: auxiliary inclined plane, auxiliary vertical plane. These two you might want to learn. This is about the introduction of the section planes, and similar to any other problems which you have done earlier, like you might want to note down this. Please note down this, try to understand. You can go through the textbook also. There are some details given in the textbook. Okay, you might want to learn about all those things, and we would do the same, like similar to what we have done with the cone, like we would do with the prisms and pyramids, cylinders and cones. Of course, cones you have seen how it looks like to do a section, but we would do the same for a prism and a pyramid and a cylinder as well. Alright, we'll just move on. We'll get into the problems so do you guys get a hang of what we're going to do. Okay, let's read this question here. The first question here, we'll just get started. Okay, we'll talk about a cube. Okay, cube of side 40 mm is resting on HP such that its edges are equally inclined to VP. Its axis is 50 mm in front of VP. The vertical section plane is cutting the cube at a distance of 10 mm from the axis and away from the VP. So the cutting plane is a vertical section plane. All right, vertical in the sense it is perpendicular to HP, and it is parallel to VP. Assuming that it's parallel to VP, it's 10 mm away from the axis. Okay, vertical section plane, and we are assuming that it is parallel to VP also, 10 mm away from the axis. Okay, let us draw what do we first draw? We need to get the base shape of the cube. Okay, first thing, like I'll just draw this means that these two sides are equally inclined. Okay, this is making a 45, this is making a 45. This is what I get for my front view. This is my center point. Okay, so from here, what did he say? The axis is 50 mm in front of VP. So from here till here, whatever 50, and then here I'll draw the XY line. My XY line is over here, right? Now let me give some names here. For the top, I'm saying it's A, B, C, D. The bottom, I'm saying A1, B1, C1 and D1. Alright, now let me get the front view for the same. These are my projection and these both coincide. This is what I get from my front view. This is whatever the side is, what is the side? Side is 40. So this is basically 40. This length from here till here, this is 40. Alright, okay, you do the dimensioning better. I just draw it roughly. So anyway, this from here till here, this is 40 again. This is 40 also. Right, and then I'll just join the outline. Like I told you in solids, we'll just join the outline first. And then seeing from here, so seeing from this particular point, seeing from this here, I can see that A, B and C is seen. That means AA1, BB1, CC1 is seen. DD1 is behind my sight, so I can't see DD1. So I'll just go ahead and draw the BB1 as well. So BB1 is done, it's a solid. So this is A, B, C, all are solids. D is behind my sight, so D is in braces, okay. Similarly, it's A1, B1, C1 and D1 in brace. Alright, now let me get the section. Now where is my sectional plane? A vertical sectional plane. If it's a vertical section plane is something like this. This is a vertical section. So that means in the top view, you see the line. You see the line in the top view. So this is 10 mm from here, 10 mm from here. So from here till here, 10 mm from here, away from the VP. From VP it's away 10 mm from here. I'll draw the section here. This is my section. Okay, this is a vertical section plane. I mean, assuming that this is parallel to VP. So this is where this is cutting the solid. Okay, now let us do the numbering. It's like there is an AB line, there is a BC line. This is like two edges in the top. There are two more edges at the bottom. This is A1, B1, B1, C1. Two more edges. So there is like four edges being cut by the solid. In the top view, I see this A1 being cut. This is number 1. That is the number 1 cut. On the BC, I have number 2 cut. Okay, on CC1, at the bottom, I have number 3 cut. This is hidden. Okay, I don't see. In the top view, I can't see. In the bottom, this is cut at the bottom, and 4 is cut in the bottom also. Both 4 is being cut at A1, B1, 3 is cut at C1, B1. So we'll just go in an order, clockwise, either clockwise or anti-clockwise, however you want to do. Okay, so 1 and 2 are on AB, 1 is on AB, 2 is on BC, 3 is on C1, B1, 4 is on B1, A1. This is what it is. These are the 4 edges where the solid is being cut. Now what I do is I'll just project these points, all the points onto the respective projections. I'm just taking this forward here and take this point over here in the front view. So my 1 and 4 points would go here. So my 1 is on the AB line, 2 is on the BC line, 3 is on the this one, and 4 is over here. These are my 4 points if I want to mark them as 1, 2, 3 and 4. So this is what I see for my section. This was the cut part. Okay, the cut part I always show with the hatched line making 45 degree to the XY line or X1 Y1 line depending on where it is. So this is the remaining part of the solid, the remaining line. So this part is gone, this part is removed. Okay, so from here 1 to B, B to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to B1, B1 to 4. This chunk is gone. This chunk is removed. This is where the observer is seeing from here, and then this part is removed. This part is removed. So whatever I see remaining part, this is the section part which I see in the front view. So remaining part of the solid, this part is seen though. Okay, the B is gone, so B is not there anymore because B is removed here. B1 is removed. So the remaining part is just A1, C is there, D is there, B is gone though. Similarly, A1, C1, D1 and 3 and 4. This is what we say. This is your sectional, this is called the sectional front view. This complete thing along with the remaining part of the solid, the section seen, this is called the sectional front view. Okay, and also the view is basically perpendicular to the section. So to this section, this is like this XY is parallel. So this is also called the true shape. Okay, this is the sectional front view, and also this 1, 2, 3, 4 is the true shape. Okay, this complete thing is called sectional front view. Similarly, this red area, this 1 2 3 4, okay, 1 2 3 4, this area is called the section. And also in this case it's also called the true shape. True shape because this is basically the view is perpendicular to the section plane. This is the section plane. This section plane, it's section plane's trace rather. It's like, since it is perpendicular to HP like this, top view I see the thing, or it's a trace of the section plane. Alright, this is the projection. Please note this down. You guys can pause the video and get this thing. Alright, I'll just move on. Let's move on to the next question. Now this is a triangular prism. Okay, I think we have done some problems in triangular prism. We'll just do this one as well. Alright, so now please read the question. A triangular prism of side of base 30 mm, axis 50 mm is resting with its face on HP such that its axis is inclined at 30 degree to VP. It is cut by a horizontal section plane at a point 5 mm above the axis. Draw its front view and sectional top view. This is your question. Okay, so where do we start off? First of all, how many sides does how many faces does a triangular prism have? It's a triangular prism. It's a regular triangular prism of side 30 mm and axis 50 mm long. Alright, so it has 3 faces and 3 edges. Okay, 3 edges at the bottom, 3 edges at the top, and 3 faces. Obviously, for a prism, the faces are rectangular. Alright, so rectangular face. So where do I see the base shape? Since it is resting with this rectangular face on HP, what I would do is, first step, I would make my axis perpendicular to VP, first step, and then get the true shape. Okay, get the true shape. Then using that true shape, I'll just incline my axis to a 30 degree angle to the VP. This is what I'm going to do. Right. So let me just get the front view. So front view is basically a triangle, and it's an equilateral triangle. This is my center point, like where I have my center. Okay, let me just draw my axis. I'm just taking this distance as a convenient distance since it is not mentioned anything. So this is like my A dash, B dash, C dash. This is my A1 dash, B1 dash, C1 dash. Other side, and this front it is A dash, B dash. The other front it is A1, B1. Alright, the two sides of the prism, if I have to use a prism, I'm just using a square prism. This is like one side A, B, C, D, other side A1, B1, C1, D1. Okay, we'll just use it later. This is what it is. Now I'll just get the front view of the same. So I'm just taking a convenient distance here also. I'm just not putting right on the axis. I'm just using some distance here. So this is my whatever 55 distance given. And seeing from the top, I can see the A, I can see the C, I can see the B. So this means this edge is definitely seen. This edge is seen. So up front I have my A, B and C. Similarly, this is my A1, B1 and C1. These are like not seen. It's like away from my sight. Okay, but in the top view I can see this thing though. Front view I can see only ABC. Okay, in the top view I can see ABC, and then I can see A1, B1, C1. This is my first step. Okay, now the next step is, this is my axis line. Okay, axis line and A1, A line are coinciding. So what I would do is, I'll just like make an angle. So since it is making 30 degree to VP, so I'll just draw a 30 degree line right here, and then use this length, whatever length it is, and then draw the top view. So since I rotate this one this way, the top view doesn't change. So I'll just take the same length over here, right? And then let me get the top view. So this is my top view. This diagram and this diagram both are same. Okay, these both are same top view. The top view is the same, right? So now this side I'm saying A1, B1, C1. This is my A, B, and C. Right. So let's just move on. So this line is also seen apparently, but I mean I'm just holding it for now because the section part is there. So now where is this section? It is cut by a horizontal section plane. Horizontal means it is like this. So in the front view, this is what you see. This is how it is. It is 5 mm above HP. So 5 mm above HP, I am cutting a cut like this. Okay. So, but I'll just take mark from here, 5 mm from here, and then I'll draw the section like this. Okay, this is the section. Okay, now I'll just use it. I mean, I'm just holding it to get the front view from here, and then finally draw the front view and then get the top view. Okay, since now it is inclined, I have a different front view altogether. I have to use the locus lines here and then get it. All right. So now if I want to mark the points, like up front, I see so many points here, right? But let me just go here and then get this. This is my horizontal line for my ABC, and this is from the ABC side, this side A1, B1, C1. These are the 3 lines here, and this is like ABC. These are the lines for ABC. So now let me get the points here. This is like B and C. This is my B, this is my C, and this is my A. But this side is like my A dash, B dash, and C dash. Alright. Now this is my A1 dash. This is my B1 dash. This is my C1 dash. Okay. As a rule, like we know that we are drawing the two shape, the outlines first. I'm just drawing this very lightly, like I'm using a light pencil, like an H or a 2H pencil, and then I'm just drawing lightly. Okay. I'm not finishing it. So, okay. So now the same thing, like I'll just extend this line over here. This is your section line again. Just using the same section line. It's a long dash and a dot, dash and dot, dash and dot. Okay. Now, since I'm seeing from here, I can see this whole face. This whole face can be drawn darkly. This is a dark line. This is a dark line. Then here, A1, B1 is up front. Like this is obviously a dotted line, a solid line. Okay, but rest of it I can't see. This is a dotted line. Okay, this is already there. So now if I have to do the numbering, how do I do the numbering? It's like whatever is like, if I do the same here also, it doesn't matter. Okay, so A, B, so this is like 1, 2, 3 and 4. This is what it is. Alright, so now I will say 1 here, 2 here, 3 here, and 4 here. Alright, 4 is on the A1, this line. Okay, C1 line and this A1 line, C1 A1 line. So now I got all my points right. So this is my section. I'll just use red here just so that we have some clarity here. So the order has to be maintained. Okay, the order 1 solid line, solid line, solid line. This hidden and hidden. Okay, that's the order. Now let me just get this down. There's 1 point over here. 1 is on A1C. Okay, AC line. 1 is on the AC line. Let me get this down right here. Okay, 2 is on here, right here. This is like my 1 and 2. Okay, similarly my 3, if it comes down, this is my point 3. This one, if it comes down, this is my point 4. Alright, this is your projection lines. Now once I get these points, I got my 1, 2, 3, 4 points. So what I do is I'll just simply join these lines to get my section in the top. Okay, this is a sectional top view. You need to understand it. Now to this XY line, I'm just drawing at a 45-degree line. I'm just drawing these lines. These are called the hatching lines. And then this remaining part of the solid along with the section is called the sectional top view. This complete thing is called the sectional top view. Okay, the A1 part is gone. So this part is removed. Okay, So the remaining part, this part is gone, so only this one has to be darkened. Okay, this is darkened. This is also darkened. I have a solid line here also. This is solid. This is what I have. So this part is the remaining part. This top part is gone. This is my observer. This part is removed. Okay, this part is gone. This part is gone. So remaining part, this is darkened with an HB pencil. HB pencil. Alright. So this is my front view. Okay, this is my front view, normal front view, but I see the section, or this is the section plane, or the trace. You can call the trace of the plane. This is the sectional top view, and this is your actual section. Since your view is perpendicular to this one, perpendicular to the section, this is also called the true shape. Okay, this is also called the true shape, or the sectional top, also the sectional top view. All right, this is the section. Only this 1 2 3 4 is called the section or the true shape. In this case, it's like coinciding. Okay, but in rest of the cases, it may not coincide. It is true shape, it is section, and this complete thing along with this 1 2 3 4 is called sectional top view. Okay, I hope this is clear for you guys. We'll just move on to a different type of problem. We are just doing prisms right now. We'll do other types of problems in the next class, right? So let's note down this question here. This is a pentagonal prism of side of base 28 mm and axis 65 mm long, which is resting on HP with its base edge perpendicular to VP and axis is parallel to and 50 mm in front of VP. Axis is 50 mm in front of VP. Okay, this is one thing, but one of the base edge is perpendicular. With this thing we have to remember. Axis is parallel and 50 in front of VP. An auxiliary inclined plane. Okay, it's inclined at an angle 45 degree to HP. Okay, auxiliary inclined plane means this plane is perpendicular to VP and inclined to HP. This means this plane is perpendicular to VP and inclined to HP, inclined at 45 to HP. Is bisecting the axis. Bisecting means what? It is basically, if the axis height is 65, so at 32.5 it is cutting. Okay, it's cutting at a point 32.5. Draw the sectional top view, true shape, and the front view of the prism. This is our question. Okay, where do we start off now? Like any other problem, I would basically start off with the true shape. Okay, the true shape, the base shape. Okay, the base shape. Let me just draw the base shape here. A pentagon, I am taking one edge perpendicular to VP. You can take it, you can draw it this way or this way, doesn't matter. I am just choosing this way. Center somewhere here. This is a prism, alright. So now I am just giving these names as A, B, C, D and E. And then the bottom I will say A1, B1, C1, D1 and E1. This is my center of the prism, and then this is saying 50 mm in front of VP. So from here 50 mm is what I'll mark here. Okay, and then I'll draw my XY line. Okay, whatever the height is, like let me get the height here. I'm just taking since I need to get the true shape, and also I'm just taking the height a little lesser. Okay, it's not to the scale, so you guys can draw it to the scale. I'm assuming that whatever this is 65 mm long, but it's not 65, but it's okay. Like I'm just taking this. Okay, this is my A dash, B dash, C dash. This is my D dash hidden, and then this is my E dash hidden. Similarly, this is A1, B1. Okay, let's forget about that. You guys can draw it in your diagram. Okay, it's A1 dash, B1 dash, C1 dash, D1 dash, and E1 dash. Now let's get to the point here. Now this is making an angle 45 degree to the HP. 45. This is the center point. Okay, so 45 degree would be something like this. If it's cutting like this, this is your auxiliary inclined plane. Okay, this is making 45 degrees to the HP. This is the midpoint. Okay, if this was 65, this is where this is being cut. Alright, so now So for this one, like where do I get the true shape? So when I have to see perpendicular to this one, okay. In this case, like how many parts is this cutting? Like swing from here, A line is a solid line, B line is a solid line, C line is a solid line. So corresponding to A1, I'll put 1. So B1, I'll put 2. I'm using a red pen here. 1. To B1, I'm using 2. C1, I'm using 3. D1, I'm using 4. E1, I'm using 5. These are the 5 points. So if I drop this projection down, 1 would lie here, 2 would lie here, 3 would lie here, 4 would lie here, 5 would lie here. This is called the sectional top view. This is called the sectional top view. I see the section and the remaining part of the solid. So this part is gone. This part is gone. Only this part is remaining. So this part I'll just darken this. So this is also solid. Only this part is remaining. This part is gone. This part is removed. Okay, since you are seeing from here, the observer is seeing from here. Now to get the true shape, I could have used this space. Okay, this space I could have used, but right now I don't have this space here. Ideally, like you'll have to draw one line from here and then project these lines and then measure the distance of each 1, 2, 3, 4 here and then get the diagram. But since I can't do it here, I'll just do here, right here. Okay, I'll just use this space. Okay, I'm just moving it, sliding it a little here, and then I'll just get the points over here. Okay, I'll just project these lines from here. Okay, so please don't do like this, but you guys can actually use okay, this is my parallel. This line is x1. This is an auxiliary plane which is parallel to the section plane. This is the section line. This is parallel to this one, and then I took it a convenient distance. Okay, now let us take this points outside. Now I'm trying to get the true shape here. All right, so this is my one line. Okay, so one line from xy. This is my xy line. From xy line, what is the distance from 1? Whatever that distance is, I'll mark from here. This is my 1. So similarly, from xy to 5, this is my 5. So xy to 4, xy to 2, 4, xy to 3. This is my 3. So if I have to mark these points, this is with the red pen, I'm marking these points like this. Okay, so 3, 2, 1, 5, and 4. So what I do is I'll just join these parts like this, and I get this thing. So now to xy, it's like making 45 degrees. I'll just draw the hatching lines. Okay, use a 2H pencil for this. Okay, space them evenly. This is called the hatching line. Now this is called the true shape. Whatever I get here is true shape. So when is the true shape obtained? When true shape is obtained, when there is an auxiliary plane. This x1, y1 is an auxiliary plane drawn parallel to the section plane at a convenient distance, and the projection lines are drawn, and then the shape is up. This is called the true shape. When it is cut like this, I can see from here to get the true shape. This is the true shape. This is called the sectional top view. Sectional top view. Okay, this is your sectional top view. This is the true shape of the section. True shape of the section. True shape of the section. This is the sectional top view. This is the front view. Okay, these are some of the things which you might want to learn. Okay, so similar to this, you'll do get some problems. So you guys might want to work on those problems. Okay, moving on, we'll just go to the next question. So this is the question. You might note it down. The solution for this. Just starting off with base shape. Okay, get the front view. Okay, plan some space over here, like for here, right here, like parallel to this one. Like you need to draw the true shape over here. This just could have been drawn here, but since you have a drawing sheet, like you have more space there, so you guys can use that space properly and plan your spacing accordingly. All right. Now let's move on. It's the next question. So this is a hexagonal prism of side of base. Okay, talking about the pentagonal prism just now, like I'll just turn it back and I'll show you a model here just for a better understanding. I just have a model here. So let us look here. Okay, I'll just compare it over here. This was your this is your pentagonal prism. Okay, pentagonal prism. This is like having 5 sides, all 5 sides. This is how it is. All right. Now this one was cut right here. These are the lines where it is cut. So it's like if I have to say 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, okay, 4 and 5. Okay, so these are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 parts. Okay, now if it was cut like this, assuming that this is your solid, these are your 5 parts. This one was cut like this. This is your prism, and then this was cut like this. This part is removed. This is how it is like right now. You can see this. So in the top view, you see the same thing. Like top view, you see the same pentagon. Doesn't matter. Like it's exactly the same. The same shape is what's in, because this point is being projected here. This point is projected here. So I'll have the same shape. So this section, though it is like this, I'll see it as a pentagon only. But here, like when I see parallel to this one, I see a different shape altogether. This is my different shape altogether. This is what I see actually. This is actually bigger than the actual shape. This is the actual shape, but this is bigger than this. What is the actual shape here? The actual shape is over here. This is the actual shape. So this is the projection of the actual shape, the top view. But actually this is what you see as a true shape. True shape is seen like this when I'm viewing perpendicular to this one. So now if I compare the true shape and the actual shape, this is the actual shape, this is the true shape. Now I see a smaller shape. This is actually this is the apparent shape. This is the apparent view. Apparent shape in the top view. This is the true shape. I see the true shape when it is perpendicular to this plane. To this plane, this is perpendicular. So this is where I see the true shape. True shape is like this, little bigger. Okay, elongated along this length. This is the true shape. This is the apparent shape. All right. So this is it. We'll just move on to the next question. The next question is a hexagonal. Okay, I'll just move it here. Okay. Hexagonal prism of side of base 25 mm and axis 55 mm long, resting with its base on HP, with one of its faces parallel to and 10 mm in front of VP. A section plane perpendicular to VP and inclined at 40 degree to HP is cutting the axis at a point 15 mm from the top of the axis. Draw the true shape of the sectional top view. Now, where do we have the true shape here? Where do we get the base shape? First of all, we need to draw the base shape. Okay. So base shape, where do I draw? Just draw here. Just this is my base shape. It's a hexagon, so I'll just okay, this mode here. So from here, this edge is 10 mm from the XY line. So I'll draw the XY line here. So now I'm marking this as A, B, C, D, E and F in the top. The bottom I'll say A1, B1, C1, D1, E1 and F1. So 2, 3, 5, 6 edges on the top and 6 edges at the bottom. Alright, these things are projected now. First step is resting with one of its faces like this. Since it is there like this, I'll just take the height of this one. Okay, I'll just take the height here. This edge A, B, C and D are seen. Okay, there's no confusion here. So this is like A dash, B dash, C dash, D dash. All these are seen. Okay, E dash is not seen and F dash is not seen. It's behind the scene. Okay. Now similarly, I have A1, B1, C1, A1, B1 dash, C1 dash, D1 dash, E1 dash, F1 dash. Alright. So these are the 6 corners on the top and 6 corners on the bottom. Now I have my axis line here. Let me put my axis line. Okay. Now the section plane is inclined at 40 degree to HP and it is cutting the axis at a point 15 mm. Okay. This height is 55 mm. So this is like 55 mm. So 55. This is 55. This side is given by how much? Side is 25. Okay. You guys do a proper dimensioning. Just doing a rough dimensioning. Now 15 from here, if I count here like somewhere here, and then it's making an angle 40 degrees. Okay, 40 degrees will be something like this. This is 40 degrees. Alright, now let me get the how many edges is this cutting now? Lateral surface, I have 6 edges. A, B, C, D, E, F. 6 edges are there. Okay, now I'll start off from the solid line here. A is the solid line, so I'm saying for A I'll use 1 point. For B is the second point, so second solid line. Okay, remember this. C is the third solid line. Okay, now D1 is not cut, so I'm not worried about that. However, this is cutting between C and D. C and D and D and E also. CD and DE also. So, but where is it cutting? Like here, like 1 point here, and then 5th point on the other side. Okay, so how do I know that? I'll just drop this line down here. Drop this line down. So this is my 4th point. This is my 5th point. Okay, you guys need to remember this. When there is a section plane which is cutting the one of the bases. Okay, top base or bottom base. Okay, any base, if it is cutting the one of the bases, you will have two points like what we got here. Okay, if this line would have cut this edge, you would have only 1 point. Okay, D1 corresponding to D1, you will have only 1 point. Since it is cutting the base, you have C and D and D and E also. That how do I know? I'll just drop this line, projection line down here. I have 4.4, 0.5 here. So I understand that there is like 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 obviously 1 is corresponding to here 1, 2, 3. This is 4, this is 5. Then coming back again and on the line between these are the 4 points, and then I have one more point. This E line is also cut here. Okay, since C1 line is cut, E1 is also cut. This is the 6th point. And then one more here, 7th point. These are the points, right? So this is my section. If I have to draw the section, this is how I'll draw the section. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Though the hexagonal prism has only 6 edges, here since it is cutting the base, for each base I'll have 2 points, right? That 4 and 5th point is over here. Okay, this is how I'll get the points. Now, let us get to the true shape. This is what is this called now? This is the sectional top view. Okay, sectional top view. This is your actual section. The remaining part of the solid is also seen along with the section, so it's called sectional top view. Okay, this is the apparent section. Okay, this is the apparent section. What I see in the top view, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is the apparent section. To get a true shape, what do we do? So I'll have to draw a line parallel to this one somewhere here. Conveniently parallel to this, I'll just draw a line x1, y1. This is an auxiliary plane. So from here I'll just draw the projection lines from each of the 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the projection lines. Again, you guys have to plan this properly. Since you have a drawing sheet, you guys can trajectories. Now how do I get the 1 point here? I know that 1 is on this line, and then 2 and 7 are on this line, 3 and 6 are on this line, and 4 and 5 are on this line. This is what I know. So now I'll have to measure from xy to 1. Okay, xy to 1, whatever distance is there, that is what I'll measure here. Okay, and then similarly xy to 2, this is what it is. Xy to 7. Okay, since from xy to 7 is the nearest point, this is the 7, this is the second point. Okay, and then similarly I have a 3, and I have a 6, and I have a 5, and I have 4 and 5. So if I join all these things, this is what I get. Okay, 1 2 3 4. Now to the x1 y1, set a 45 degree angle on your mini drafter. Draw the hatching lines. So I get the true shape, which is basically 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. This is actually the mirror image of the same. All right, this is called the true shape. True shape of the section. Okay, cut section. Alright, so I think this should be good enough for you guys. Please note this down. You can take a picture, and then this thing you have to plan it properly again. Now since I have a limited space here, I couldn't done it, but otherwise this is exactly the same shape as this. You need to remember that this shape and the true shape and the apparent shape are the same, like whatever, like this one has how many sides? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 sides. Similarly 1 2 3 4 5 6 and 7 sides. Same, exactly this and same, but only thing is this is elongated in this direction. This length is the difference. Here this is the length, here it's elongated. Okay, so like you've seen the pentagon example which I gave you in the previous model, like in the pentagon problem I showed you that this is the apparent shape and this is the true shape. The true shape, and there's a difference between the true shape and the apparent shape. Apparent shape is shorter, true shape is a little longer. Okay, so this is about the pentagon problem though. So this is it guys. I'll just give you some more problems. Please go through that. This note down the solution. You guys can take a picture of this and you can do it. All right, so we'll just move on. Next class we'll just try to do some pyramids and some other problems, cones and cylinders. All right, so we'll just stop here. We'll just pick up in the next class. Thank you.